Hello guys, it is Marty the Off-Grid Gecko, and today I'm going to be installing a solar power fence around the apiary. So electric fences are basically designed to keep bears away from your honey boxes. From what I understand, and I'm a total beginner at this, so take everything with a grain of honey. But from what I understand, the object is not necessarily to just keep the predators from coming in at all costs. You don't need to have like a super duper heavy duty electric fence line to protect your apiary, unless the bears already know where the honey is, in which case then you might want to get something a little more powerful. But the object here is to keep them from getting close enough to the beehive to begin with, where they're just disinterested in the area and they don't want to go near it, and then no problems after that. Same goes for skunks. Now skunks are little and low to the ground and they're like cats, and I imagine a cat or two is going to get zapped today, so that might be a little funny. This Patriot 150, I think, SG 150, is rated for 12 miles of fence wire, so I'm just going to be going around a little perimeter here, so it's like maybe 50 feet going that way and then 30 or 40 feet going this way, so just say 200 feet of wire. That's roughly what, 60-70 yards. So I'm going to be putting multiple strands up, and I've got a 1/4 of a mile of fence wire to go along with this guy. So installation's pretty simple on these solar chargers. This guy's made to actually attach to the top of a T-post, and I thought I had a bunch of T-posts laying around, but I only have one apparently, and I've got those little white non-conductive posts for actually hanging the fence on. That way I don't have to deal with insulators and all that bull crap. I may have screwed up a little bit on that front because I should have got some insulators anyway, so I could just attach the stuff directly to the T-post that I have to just to basically anchor everything down. But I'm not going to be pulling the wire super tight. Look at all these bees. If you see this around a bait hive, that's a good sign. This is a feeder hive, so they're just running in there to get free sugar water. But there is a little fighting going on. I don't know. They might decide they want to move in. I don't have any sugar water, but for the most part, they're just running around and getting their free sugar water and stealing it and taking it back to their hive. We'll just get them acclimated to the area, more or less. And they've been cruising around all day. And it's fun to sit here and watch them. I can see what kind of local bees there are. So I've seen one that almost looked like a German bee. His butt's almost like solid black. I don't know, a couple different varieties, and you can tell the differences when they're right next to each other, because some are a little more yellow, some a little more orange, just all kinds of stuff. Anyways, I'm going to get started on this. So what I'm going to start by doing is driving the T-post in. We're in an area where there's full sun, so anywhere on that side of where I'm setting this up, and I'm basically lining this up where I can expand my apiary later on if I want to, as I get more hives, without having to maintain anything. You're going to get stung too heavily, and then whenever I'm ready, like, I can upgrade to a more heavy duty fence line or maybe a more heavy duty charger at that point. A hot lead on the back, and there's a grounding lead that's got to go to the ground, obviously. There is a battery trapped inside here somewhere. I'm not going to open it up and show it to you. Maybe I should, because I don't know if it's connected or not. And it's not connected. Look at there. So we'll obviously have to connect that. What are these? Oh look, it comes with little nails. KD say. I'm just going to leave those in there. And then you've got your solar panel and all the other stuff. So this tiny little battery in here, look at this thing. It's ridiculously small. So I'll go ahead and plug him in as soon as I've got it hooked up. And then I'm going to run around here and hook up the super cool. I'm going to run around here and I'm going to hook up the other stuff too. So got that. It's also got these little lead connectors in here for, if I can get one out, for clamping to your grounding rod and your fence. So that's going to make things a little bit easier. Let's kind of nice of them to throw all this extra crap in here for you. But 150, 160 bucks, something like that. Not a terribly heavy expense. A little more than I would like to have paid, but what are you gonna do? So anyways, let me get started grounding that T-post, or driving that T-post in, and then we'll get back to the rigmarole. I'll put my fence up around here, get the line run, and then I will try to warn the cats as much as possible, but once the fence goes hot, one of them is probably going to get zapped. Alrighty, got him pointed more or less south. It's going to get some shade from this side in the afternoon, so I've got it tilted just slightly east. I get a little more in the early morning, mid-morning, and then not so much towards the end of the day. Just personal preference. Ideally, you want this aimed south, and you want to be able to rock it up and down. Like right now, going into summer, it's probably better propped up like this, but then it's not going to be rain tight. I'm going to go ahead and make sure this switch is off, and then I'm going to hook this up so that this guy can start charging. There we go. And now I'll continue putting these posts in. Anyways, when you're putting wire out, get this thing on. So whenever you get ready to start unrolling your wire, fence wire usually comes on a spool of some kind. They sell little spindles that you can attach to this, make unspooling easier. Of course, I'm a cheap ass, so I didn't buy one, but I do need to find a stick or something to put through here so that I can unroll it better. Cold rolled steel. Hopefully the ground's soft enough I can just pound this joker in, because I really don't want to go back and get a hammer and mess with it. That's good enough. Then I can dig that out and pull it out when I decide to change my mind on all this. Now I need a stick. Now I'm just going to hook it onto the bottom of that fence, and then I'm going to cold roll this around so that later on I can come back and undo all of my bad habits that I'm about to lay down, roll this wire back up, and hopefully reuse it if I can get it rolled back up without tangling it. And I can roll him out. And the camera's going to be right in the way. Overall, this strategy is just not going to work. Okay, so my original plan is just not going to work. I've got the fence on right now, and from what I can tell, I've used about 240 yards of wire to wrap around it, so I'm going to have to reuse that wire. I'm going to get some T-posts. I've got some over here in the ground where I had originally set up base camp while I was building the cabin. And we had our tents over there and stuff, and we just kind of fenced off the area a little bit to keep critters out of our tent at night. So what I'm going to do is go over there with the sledgehammer, get those T-posts out of the ground, bring them back over here to the apiary, and then pound them in. And I'm going to see if the local store here has insulators or not. Going to town's a little aggravating for me. Got to drive like half an hour to get there, half an hour to get back, but I got my insulators. I've got the T-posts over here, and the sun's about to go down, so I'm going to jump on this. Alrighty, got it all set up here. There was some swearing involved, as there always is when you're untangling fence wire. Ugh. Set the monster down real quick. So I've got my charger right here. That guy's on that T-post, and then I've got the little cables running to the ground, and this is the hot lead. These fence wires are all basically connected to each other via a little tie strap between each one. It's the way we do it at work, and that seems to work fine for them. So I've got 4 strands running around. The cats have as you may have noticed, are not following me over here anymore. I know 2 of them at least have gotten zapped so far, and one of them observed a zapping, and that's just what I saw. Now last night, the second strand from the bottom was loose when I came out here this morning, so something last night got a hold of that, messed with it, and apparently scared off on its way. You might notice the bee yard is considerably larger than what I need right now, but I'm hoping to build this up to maximum capacity. And capacity is something I think about that a lot of other people apparently don't think about. There are only so many flowers in this area. There are only so many beehives this area can sustain. Even if you go out for a 3 or 4 mile radius, it's not like blooming flowers everywhere. There's lots of woods, which means dogwood, redbud, other flowering trees are abundant. There's plenty of fruit trees. There's persimmons, wild or black cherries, and grapevines. And then there's, of course, the bushes, you know, the roses and the blackberries and other thistles and thickets, and just stuff for bees to munch on all year long. But that's going to carry a maximum carrying capacity, and again, I think that's something people don't give enough thought to when they're starting an apiary. They just want, you know, 50 hives, and we'll just keep multiplying them until we can't multiply them anymore. And then you get into this thing where your bees start getting weaker and weaker because there's not enough to forage. They have to fight with each other. They start robbing each other, things like that. So my plan is to build this out to as many hives as I can sustain, and have them be healthy. So that may end up being a lot more than I think. It may end up being a lot less than I think, but I think I can handle 10 to 20 hives without any problems, somewhere in that range, and I'll be happy. But yeah, this little fence. So I'm thinking I want to do another wire across the top, about waist high, and I'm trying to hold out and get some poly wire for that, or I'll at least have to decorate it somehow. But I may go ahead and hang some flagging on this top wire that I have right here, and that just instead of the fence being invisible at night, if an animal comes up to it, they're going to see those little flags flapping in the wind, and they'll investigate those, which means you get a shock on the nose first, and then this is a deterrent. Okay, so this is not an installation that's going to stop an aggressive bear that really wants honey. It's not going to stop anybody. It's deer could probably jump it, just whatever reason. So as a deterrent, it's best to just give them a zap on a sensitive part of their body, and then they'll have more of a tendency to shy away from it. This isn't a very strong solar charger. Almost everybody recommends a 3 joule or bigger. I've read official documentations that recommend 0.7 or bigger for the joule rating on the charger, and most of the time those bigger ones are going to be running off 12-volt battery, and you got to install a solar panel separately and do all of that fun stuff, which I'm not doing just for this. But at a minimum, I think it will keep skunks away, because if it'll deter a cat, and I mean, if one of them manages to wander over here, I'll try and get it on video, because it's kind of funny. It sounds a little mean, but they're eventually going to test it and figure out that they're going to get zapped on their own. So there's nothing I can do to stop that. So you may as well get a little humor out of it, right? So if one of them comes over and gets zapped, I'll try and catch it on video. But the guiding principle here is this is not enough current to make a bear tuck tail and just run. I mean, it's got to get popped on the nose and then just decide for itself. You know, whatever's in there probably isn't important enough for me to mess around with getting zapped, so screw it. Anyways, I think I'm going to cut this video off here. I'm going to get started on another video. I've got the new bee boxes painted, so I'm setting one up over there as a swarm trap, and I'll do a little video on that because I want to talk about the bait. But other than that, this is it. I got my fence up. I'm happy. It's not the best fence in the world. It's not the strongest fence in the world. I probably could have built it with these things facing in instead of out, and that would have saved me a little bit of headache with running these lines, because you can't pull these super tight. I mean, these little plastic insulators here will just bend and twist right off the pole, and I was dealing with a lot of that yesterday afternoon. And that's frustrating when the sun's going down, you're trying to get finished, and you keep having these dumb little problems. But electric fence is up, and with any luck, won't even have a bear come up here for another 5 years. That would be the best thing. But I think this at least offers me some minimal protection for the bees, so that they can do their thing, and little critters will leave them alone for the most part. That's the main overriding goal. If you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, I know there's probably a bunch of bee people that have plenty of comments on how badly this fence is set up. Feel free to drop them in a comment below. I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting a little extra education in the comment section, so that other people who watch this video can read up and maybe get some better ideas about what they might want to install. I'm not changing my setup. Like I said, the only thing I might change is install a poly across the top, or put some flagging on, or both, so that there's something noticeable that an animal can sniff at before it makes a decision whether it wants to run in there. And that worked really well on the garden, even without electric. So yeah, an electrified wire that they can see would probably be useful. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe if you want. I'm doing off-grid stuff, because I'm off-grid Marty, off-grid Gecko. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.